Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a lesson based on a scene from the movie The Pursuit of Happiness, and it's going to be a 100% English lesson. No Portuguese in this lesson, so I hope you can keep up. Let's read the text, then we come back and make some explanations. Chris Gardner says, I'm all good. I'm all good. So we have Chris Gardner, we have the secretary, I don't know her name, and we have the other guy, but he doesn't appear in the screen. So let's keep up. Chris Gardner, I'm all good. Excuse me. As you remember, he says, I'm all good when he's getting out of jail, signing the paper so he can be released from jail. Excuse me, when he is getting out of the elevator, and the secretary just come and ask his name, Miss Gardner, Mr. Gardner, Mr. Gardner, Miss Gardner. Remember me to correct this part here. Mr. Gardner, this way. You'll be right over here. Miss Gardner, when they are entering the room where the interview is going to take place, Mr. Gardner, and he just starts to introduce himself to them. Chris Gardner, how are you? Good morning. Chris Gardner, good to see you again. So this part here, we know that he knew this guy beforehand. All right. Chris Gardner, pleasure. I've been sitting out there for the last half hour trying to come up with a story that would explain my being here dressed like this. So let's go to the text so you can understand everything. Chris Gardner says, I'm all good. I'm all good. I'm okay. Can I go now? Basically, what he's saying is this: can I go now? Because he was arrested. We're gonna see that he was arrested for failure to pay parking tickets. So he's getting out of jail and he has or had an interview. All right. So he is leaving the jail to go to the interview, and getting out of the elevator, he says, excuse me. And we know that when you have to pass through some people, you can say, excuse me, or you can say, sorry, when you need people to get out of the way so you can pass through, all right? So use it to be polite, to ask for directions or information, or just to pass through, all right? To pass through people. Like in his case, he was getting out of the elevator, he was a little late for the interview, so he needed people to just get out of the way so he could pass through and get in time to the interview, all right? So he says, excuse me. Remember, when you say excuse me, you are being a little bit more polite. All right. Mr. Gardner, the secretary just come to the hall and said, Mr. Gardner, and he waits a little bit, maybe because he was shy because of the clothes he was wearing by the time. All right. So, and she says this way, showing him the way to the interview room. All right. So she says, this way, Jesus said, I'm the way, I'm the way, all right? The truth and the life, the way, the truth, and the life. This way, you'll be right over here. You'll be, you see, we have it and double well, that would be something like this. It will be, you'll be right over here. When she says right over here, she's probably talking about the way they're going to take to get to the interview room, or talking about specifically about the interview room. All right. So it refers to the way or the place the interview is going to take place. To take place, the interview will take place. Okay, it's the same as it's gonna happen. The interview is gonna happen. All right, right over here, right over here. It's being more specific about the place. Right over here. This gift is talking about right over there, over there, over here, over there. So this guy is talking about these people over there. All right. Mr. Gardner, the secretary, introducing him to the interviewers. Chris Gardner is going to be interviewed by the interviewers. All right. Like this guy, he is probably introducing this is probably his girlfriend. Okay. And this maybe his mom, I don't know. And he is introducing them to each other. All right. How are you? How are you? I don't believe it's needed for me to explain this to you. But when you ask people, how are you? You want to know how they are going, if they are happy, sad, angry, tired, whatever. It's normal stuff to ask people. How are you? How are you doing? What's up? How's it going? Good morning. Good morning. It's pretty standard. You don't have to be a genius to understand this. Good to see you again. Chris Gardner, good to see you again. It's good to see you again. Meaning, long time no see, something like that. It's good to see you. It's been a while since we saw each other, something like that. So, when you say good to see you again, usually used when it's been a while since you saw a friend, you're seeing them now and you wanna show you're happy to see them again. All right. Again, try again. You fail, you try again until you succeed. All right. Chris Gardner, pleasure. Pleasure is the same as to say nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. All right. You just saying that you are happy to see them or to meet them, to know them. Nice to meet you. It's a pleasure. Chris Gardner, pleasure. I've been sitting out there for the last half hour. I've been sitting out there for the last half hour. So we know that when we use have been, we are talking about something that started in the past and have some effects or is still happening now. So they have been exercising since 3 p.m. Let's say this is 3 p.m. and there has been a while and it's now 5 p.m. So they have been exercising since 3 p.m., meaning they started exercising, doing some push ups, pull ups, something like that at 3 p.m., and they are still exercising or working out till 5 p.m. And 5 p.m., it's the exact time right now. All right. Sitting out there, sitting, the difference between sitting and standing. Here, we could say standing up, and here we could say sitting down, sitting down. All right. I've been sitting out there, meaning he wasn't inside the interview room. He was waiting out for them to call him in so they could start the interview. And he was outside for the last half hour. Four is used to show the time, the period of time. How long was that? It was 30 minutes or half an hour. Half an hour. So half an hour is the same as 30 minutes. 30 minutes, half an hour. So we have the this hand or needle, you can call it whatever you want to call, and we could say it's 12:30 or it's half past 6. Half past 6. As we can see, we have lots of clocks here. It's 12:15. We could say 12:15, or we could say it's a quarter past 12. Quarter would be this. So if we divide it, here we have a quarter of an hour, a quarter. How much is a quarter of an hour? It's 15 minutes. So if it's from this side of the clock, you're gonna say past, past, all right? Because it's after. Some people say after, all right? So it's 15 past 12 or it's a quarter. A quarter, let me see if I can write this down for you. A quarter, okay, a quarter, a quarter. It's like 25%, all right? So here we have 4:45. So this side passed, this side two, meaning when I say it's 15 to 4 or a quarter to 4, it means that we have 15 minutes before 4 o'clock. All right, and it just keeps going. It's 9:45 or a quarter to 10, a quarter to 10. All right, and he was waiting outside for the last half hour, for the last 30 minutes, trying to come up with a story that would explain my being here dressed like this. Trying. He was thinking, he was like um, trying to come up with a story, trying to invent a story, come up or to produce, in this case, an idea, in his case, a story. He was going to lie to get the job, you know. So a story, he was trying to come up with a story. He was trying to produce a story that would explain my being here instead of saying me being here. I don't know why they use this way of saying that. But anyways, we don't have to understand why. We just have to understand how to use it. And if they say my being here, we're gonna say my being here, not me being here. All right. If you wanna sound more American, you're gonna say my being here instead of me being here. So I was out there trying to come up with a story that would explain me being here or that would explain my being here dressed like this, dressed like this. Why does he say that? Because everyone was wearing jacket and tie, and he was dressed in shabby clothes, like he was not, dressed up, right? Shabby, it's a way to say not too bad. Not too shabby, like you see a car, like this car here. You see a Honda Civic, like I have a Honda Civic, and you say, "Oh, it's not too shabby. This car is not too shabby. This car is not too bad." But his clothes were bad. He wasn't wearing cool clothes. He wasn't dressed up like this guy here. He was dressing or using shabby clothes, not so good clothes, not a standard for the place he was going to have the interview. All right. So I'm just gonna read again. Chris Gardner says, I'm all good. Can I go now? Excuse me. When you have to go through and you are asking people to get out of the way, politely, you say, excuse me. Mr. Gardner, this way, showing the way to the interview room. It will be right over here talking about the way or about the interview room. And she just introduces him to the interviewer and leave the room, and he starts to introducing himself. Chris Gardner, how are you? Good morning. Chris Gardner, good to see you again. Chris Gardner, pleasure. I've been sitting out there for the last half hour, trying to come up with a story that would explain my being here dressed like this. So I hope you like this lesson. I hope you understand everything.